All right, guys. How's it going today? My name is Mr. Watson. We're going to go over the elements of a story. Elements of a story is sort of like cooking. How many of you guys like cooking or watching your grandma cook or your mom cook? You put ingredients together like eggs, flour, sugar, and water to make a cake. Well, the same is true with the story. A story has elements, and these ingredients are called elements. Elements we're going to talk about today are character, setting, and plot. And this matches our standard of the second grade standard 2.3 R3. Students will find examples of literary elements in the setting, plot, characters, and the trials, and the traits, excuse me. So, we're going to learn, we're going to meet that standard today by going over setting, plot, and characters. And again, that's standard 2.3, R3. That's a second grade standard. Uh, and we're going to go from there. We're going to start out with a brain breaker here. Just a minute. Go share this. Sorry about that. Try to enlarge it here. We always have technical difficulties sometimes, and that's okay. You know, you learn as you go, and that's the most important thing. So, all right, this one right here. So this is called a blog post on Padlet, okay? And the title of it is, What do you remember about stories you've read? List or draw anything that makes a story interesting. Well, one of the things I remember reading was Chronicles of Narnia. I remember the character Aslan. You guys remember Aslan? If you guys ever read the character named Aslan from Chronicles of Narnia. Now you can put a picture of this if you want. You can do whatever you want. Okay. I'm just showing you how to do it. You click publish, you type it out, you click publish, and it's right there. You can put a picture in there. Let's look at pictures. Let's try that example. No, we're going to type in here. Let's look up lion. Aslan was a lion, wasn't he? Yeah, there you go. Publish. You know, you can put in pictures, you can type it, uh do anything like that on this. Go ahead and let's get some thoughts going. What do you remember about the story that you've read? What are some things you remember and stuff? All right, good. So moving on, uh the first element we're going to talk about today is the character. Each story contains a character, and the character is who or what the setting is about. Okay? The character is who or what the setting is about, and it's the person or the animal or the whoever had the main adventure. It's almost like the subject of a sentence, but it's the subject of the story. Okay? Um, you know, then we're going to look at the setting. Setting is when and where the story took place. Okay? And then we're going to look at the uh the plot. And that's the events in the story and the events that took place. And then we're going to fill out this little chart, another chart and Padlet, and we're going to fill it out, and then we're going to quiz you a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to listen to this story here. I'm going to go over here to Epic.
It was smelly and
Sorry,
it
we're
was
going to have to restart
crowded.
this. I want,
Blue.
nope. Oh, we're going to listen to this about Candy's life. Okay?
A candy's life.
We're going to listen to it, read through it, and we'll go over.
Chewy chocolate bar dropped out of the candy chute with a fresh coat of chocolate on him. Then he joined his friends to get in line for a shiny new wrapper. Yeah, soon we'll be heading for the candy store, he said happily to his friends. Yes, and soon it will be Halloween, and maybe we'll get put into a trick-or-treat bag, said his friend Rolly. Halloween? Trick-or-treat bag? What are those? Asked Chewy. You don't know what Halloween is? Asked Rolly. It's when the children dress up in all kinds of costumes and go from house to house saying, trick or treat. And then the people in the houses give them candy to put in their trick or treat bags. Whoa, said Chewy. That sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait for my turn to go into a trick or treat bag. And for days, that was all Chewy dreamed of. Finally, after getting packed in a box and loaded onto a truck, he was delivered to a candy store and put on the shelf. A man came in and said,
I need a bag of trick-or-treat candy, please.
The store owner got a big bag and started grabbing candy from the shelves. Please, pick me, Chewy hoped quietly, and he did. Chewy was so excited. When the man got home, he scooped the candy out of the bag and put them in a big bowl. All of a sudden, the telephone rang. Ring! The man turned his head and did not see Chewy fall from the bowl and fall under the sofa. Oh no! Chewy cried. Pick me up! But the man did not pick him up. Chewy was heartbroken. He would never be a trick-or-treat candy. The next evening was Halloween. Chewy heard the doorbell ring many times and heard the cheerful voices of children yelling, Trick or treat! He saw all his friends get scooped up and put into trick-or-treat bags. Finally, the candy bowl was empty and the doorbell stopped ringing. Just as the man was about to put away the bowl, the doorbell rang one more time. A little girl in a fairy costume stood in the doorway. Trick or treat, she said in a small voice. The man looked at his empty candy bowl and said,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all out of candy.
The little girl looked like she was going to cry.
Oh, wait.
The man said.
Let me look again.
Then he turned around and tripped on a rug. He landed on the floor right next to Chewy. He saw Chewy and smiled. He picked him up and dropped him into the little girl's trick-or-treat bag.
See? I saved the best for last.
And Chewy's heart was filled with happiness. His dream finally came true.
All right. So we see in that story, we're going to go over here to padlock. So we're going to fill out this little thing about the elements of a story. We're going to use that story to fill this out. So examples from that story. Examples from that story were, we just saw Chewy. He was the main character. What about uh the man and the little girl, right? All three of those were characters. What about the role? The let's look back over here. You can use your book, that's fine. Let's look back over here. Let's go back that one page.
chew,
No, not that. Let's look back here. Rolly, his friend Rolly. That's another one, right? So I gotta find my Rolly. His friend Rolly. Okay. Capitalized Rolly because it's the name. Okay. Rolly is his name. That was the characters, okay? Then you're gonna click the add button again. You're gonna add the setting. Remember the setting is when and where the story took place. So there's three different spots where it took place. When do you think people where it took place? Candy factory. We could say candy factory. Warehouse. And what else? The girl's house, right? The man's house. Oh yeah, and you forgot the shelf too. And the store shelf. The store shelf. Because she sat on the shelf for a while, remember? And then we're forgetting one thing. When did it take place? When do people go trick-or-treating? Right, Halloween. During Halloween time. Halloween night, probably. Fall, fall, October, you know? Good. You click publish. Okay. You can also put pictures again if you want to put an image there. Uh, we'll just click publish right now. Okay. Uh, then the plot. What happened in the story? The plot is what happened in the story. Okay. We're going to talk about what happened in this story. So the Candyman, well, not Candyman, but the piece of candy wanted to know what happened, wanted to jump in a Halloween bag. That was his ultimate desire, right? He went through a warehouse to a store shelf and then a man's house. Finally, he was in a Halloween bag, candy bag. So the plot can be like this, or it can be similar to uh similar. It can be also a smaller summary of it. You can summarize it. You know, a summary of the story, of the plot is basically the events, the beginning, middle, and end. Okay? Uh, and what happened in the story. Okay? We're gonna publish that. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is to read the next story and do it on your own. The next story is called The Blue Planet. Click play and listen to The Blue Planet. Then I'm gonna click. Then I want you to fill it out yourself. Go ahead and do it. All right. Good. Uh, Next, we're going to test your knowledge. You see this? Click on this. We want you to add some stuff on there. Tell me what a setting is. Okay? We're going to assess your knowledge. What a setting, what a plot is, and what a what you call it is. Okay? Go ahead and get that set up. Mr. Watson made a mistake here. Let me go ahead and fix it up for you. Remember, what is a plot? And what you're going to do is use all these tools right here and you're going to answer those questions. Like, for example, you can draw a box and say, a plot is a story. Not story. Okay, guys? Well, go ahead and do that for me. Go ahead and answer. Uh, you can create your own shapes and stuff like that, but just answer that, and that's it. That's today's lesson. Uh, Character setting and plot. Okay. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys later.